Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be taking a look at the very highly anticipated Rebor Sarcosuchus. It looks like the definitive Sarcosuchus has finally been delivered, and I'm so glad that Rebor made it since they do so well at making their figures look lifelike. You guys know that I absolutely loved Rebor's Deinosuchus, so I had very high hopes for their Sarcosuchus. And I'm glad I kept my hopes high because this figure definitely lived up to my expectations. So let's take a quick look at the packaging as always. On the top left, you got a name of the figure, its nickname, and the scale it's in. Right here, you got a picture of the Nigrosaurus carcass. And right here, you can see how the Nigrosaurus carcass fits in the crocodile's mouth. And of course, in the center, you've got a render of the Sarcosuchus itself. You can see that I chose the river variant simply because the colors were more appealing and they contrasted the Deinosuchus better than the lake variant. Speaking of the lake variant, a picture of it is on the back, and it's not bad. I still do like the color scheme, but it's nothing too special. And I always try to avoid buying repaints, especially repaints of more expensive figures. So let's waste no time and see what this Super Croc has to offer. Here is Lica the Sarcosuchus out of the packaging, and oh my goodness, this thing is absolutely fantastic. Everything down from its detailing to the coloration. Sarcosuchus is my favorite crocodiliform and one of my favorite prehistoric animals of all time, so it's great to have this model in my collection. First, let's do some measurements. From head to tail, this reptile is about 17.5 inches long. So Sarcosuchus in real life was estimated to be around 30 feet in length, so with those measurements, this figure would be in the 120 scale range. Now let's do the Nigrosaurus carcass. Now from head to tail, it is about 2 inches long and would probably be around 4 inches if fully stretched out. Here is the Juvenile Nigrosaurus carcass, which looks very neat. The coloration seems to be a swampy green with a gray striping going down the tail. The overall figure does look quite accurate to what we know about Nigrosaurus. It's got the one claw on the forelimbs, the proportionally short neck, and the very wide mouth which this dinosaur is known for. And just look at that wound. That is disgusting, especially with the tooth marks inside of it. And I love how the glossy finish just makes the wounds look all the more realistic. So yeah, very well done accessory. On to the Sarcosuchus itself. So let's take a look at the detailing. I mean, come on, this is Rebor. They almost never fail with giving us great detailed models. Just look at the head sculpt. It looks menacing, and they captured the narrow snout that helps distinguish Sarcosuchus from the other giant prehistoric crocodiliforms. Of course, there's the bulla, just like the modern day gharial, and opening up the jaw, there's the teeth, which are all glossy and individually sculpted. Rebor always does a great job with sculpting the teeth. And looking at the interior of the mouth, looks very well done. And going down the body, just look at all of that gorgeous detailing. The scales on the neck and on the torso aren't really uniform. They're more like circular, octagon, or hexagon shaped. And then the scales on the limbs are a lot more apparent and straight. And then you got the more jagged scales protruding from the bottom of the arms. And then there's 5 digits. The legs have similar detailing, except they have 4 digits. Then looking at the osteoderms on the top, yeah, they're not your typical crocodilian osteoderms. As you can see, there's only 2 rows, which are all straight rectangular shaped. Then going down the figure, you can see the scales are a lot more rectangular shaped on the tail. And that applies to the bottom as well. And then the osteoderms, right here, slowly converge into the flat tail fin, which helps the crocodile swim in the water. Then looking at the detailing on the bottom, yeah, the scales, they're more uniform than the scales right here, but of course not perfect. You can see the scales are much larger on the neck and the belly, and of course they get smaller around the cloaca area. Like most of Rebor's prehistoric creatures, this Sarcosuchus has a bendy wire tail. I think that this is easier to move than the Deinosuchus' tail. And the head is made out of a softer material than the Deinosuchus, so unfortunately it's more prone to warping. Some collectors have gotten Sarcosuchuses with warped jaws. As for the coloration and the paint applications, absolutely wonderful, so amazing. As you can see, how well applied the eye is to the figure. If the camera wants to focus, there you go. That looks very neat. As for the coloration, you can see that the main color is a brownish orange, and there's some dark brown spots and stripes throughout the figure, and the underbelly is a dull sandy color. I really enjoy this. I always envisioned Sarcosuchus having these warmer colors, and Rebor themselves confirmed that the paint job was inspired by the modern day false Gharial, and I think that's a great choice since the false Gharial does physically resemble the Sarcosuchus. Starting off with our comparisons, here is the equally awesome Rebor Deinosuchus. And both of these models are extremely well done. You can see how highly detailed and lifelike they are. And they are basically the exact same length, but the Deinosuchus is the slightly larger one as it's more robust. And between these two, I do prefer the Sarcosuchus, mainly due to its gorgeous paint job. Though, I'm a little bit biased because I do like Sarcosuchus more than Deinosuchus. And why not? Here's both crocodilians with their dinosaur prey. If Rebor does do their Purosaurus, I'm curious to see what prey item they will give it. I feel like it's probably going to be a turtle or some mammal. Now let's bring in some other Sarcosuchuses, starting off with the one from Safari Ltd. While it's still good, it has some proportional issues. The bulla is too large, the head is too small, and the limbs are oversized. And here are the Super Crocs from Collecte and Mojo Fun. And yeah, absolutely no comparison here. Here's the very stylized Sarcosuchus from the Mattel Jurassic World line. Now let's do some other Pseudosuchian figures. Here we have the Postosuchus and Prestosuchus, two amazing pieces from Safari Ltd. And here is the classic Carnegie Deinosuchus, which was my only Deinosuchus for a while until Rebor released theirs. Here is the Papo Caprosuchus. I would like to see Papo tackle more prehistoric crocodilians since they do a really good job of making them look lifelike. And here is the Pianosaudacosaurus and the stupendous Safari Ltd Plesiosuchus. Right here are some modern day crocodilians. So we've got the American alligator and Yakari caiman from Safari and the Indian Gharial from Papo. Here is the Hasbro G.I. Joe crocodile, which is based off a saltwater crocodile. And here's the Bandai Ultimate Nile crocodile. I actually found this on Mercari for $270. Definitely not worth it, but it was the lowest I've seen this figure go for. Here we have a group shot of the animals that were discovered in the Elraz Formation, the Pianosaudacosuchus, the Howlongud Uranosaurus, and the Safari Ltd Nigersaurus. Of course, the final comparison is going to be with the Collecte Xiphactinus and the Collecte Mini Xiphactinus. Well, there you have it everyone. That was my review on the Rebor Sarcosuchus. This figure is the definition of art. Everything down from the sculpt, colors, and scientific accuracy are just spectacular. The addition of the Nigersaurus carcass is lovely as well. My final rating is going to be an easy 10 out of 10. Definitely my new favorite figure from Rebor. If you want one for yourself, you can get it off of Big Bad Toy Store. I'll leave a link down below in the description. So if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a comment down below, like and subscribe. It really supports my channel. And I will see you all in the next video.